Cues with Eileen.
Hi.
What's up?
Welcome back to the Life and Curly Cues podcast with me, Eileen. This is episode 9. No. Hold for what episode I'm on. Yeah, I was right. It's episode 9 of Curly Headed Cutie. Nope. Episode 9 of Life and Curly Head. I want to say my brand. I'm really failing at this right now. It's episode 9 of the Life and Curly Cues podcast. And today I have a special guest because this is someone that when my brother filmed his episode with me, he mentioned to come onto the podcast. And now it's finally happening. Hello there.
Hello.
You want to introduce yourself?
So my name is Davion West, and this is like the first time I'm ever doing a collab with someone else who's in like the same space and YouTube, podcast, whatever it is.
Yay!
And you guys know how it is. When creators get together, it's just so nice to see like what they're doing.
Yeah. This is pretty cool. I think, yeah, it's my first collab that's like out and out. Because one of my previous guests, Jasenia, we filmed many things together, but she's never posted it yet. So we've done collabs, they're just not out. But yeah, this is my first official collab that will be out as well.
So you're like, so she's like Drake. Like I got hits and I even put them out yet.
Yeah, exactly, basically. So you're on this space as well. What do you do on this space?
So interesting enough, the first few videos I posted were pin videos, like fountain pins. I know, crazy, right? Go look it up, go Google it. But then after that, I got into like military videos and travel vlogs and videos and stuff because I love to travel. And that's pretty much where I'm at right now. I'm trying to build like myself, and I want the channel to be about my life and just trying to spread positive vibes throughout the world.
I like it. I like it a lot. That's cool. So I guess I'll save this for afterwards. So you know a little bit about my podcast, and the whole premise of it is talking about adulting and everything like that. So let's go ahead and get right into the big question. What is a moment where you felt like that was it? That's the part, and that's the time I became an adult. Or has it happened yet? Or have you had like a little taste of it type of thing?
Okay, I hope this is not going to come across as the wrong way. I know I'm blessed, like really, really blessed. I can't stop counting my blessings. Mm-hmm. But I feel like that happened January of 2019, so this year.
Okay.
And I had to go to Belgium, and I was there by myself. First solo travel trip to Europe, and two different times where I came and I was like, wow, like this is really me adulting. And the first one was like I was stuck on the train, and the lady was coming through checking the tickets and everything, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna hand her my ticket. My ticket cost like I think it was like €4, so like $3 some change. And she checked my ticket, and she was speaking French to me because that's the language they speak there. Uh-huh. And she's like saying something and looking at me. I was like, English? And she's like, oh, okay. And she's like, this is the wrong ticket for this area. And I was just like, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man, I'm going to prison right now. I don't know what a Belgian prison's like. And then I was like, can I buy it? And she's like, yeah, you can buy one. And then right after that, we pulled into the station. I was like, dang, I should have sat like 10 seats up. The ticket was like €18. I was like, dang.
That's crazy expensive.
Yeah, I was mad. And then the second time was whenever I went to this brewery in Leuven, Belgium, and it's this college town. And I went to the Stella Artois. I don't know how to say that.
Artois.
That sounds a lot better than what I said. And I went, and then I was like, oh, yes, because it was an English-speaking tour, and I was like, oh, I get to speak English with people finally. And I met these two guys, one from Hungary and the other one from the Netherlands, and we were talking everything about, like, exes, and they're like, yo, come out with us. Let's go party. This is a college town. Let's meet some Belgian women. And I was just like, oh, yes, I'm here for it. But I was going to London the next morning. I was like, this is not going to work out. I'm not going to wake up the next morning. And I'm not going to lie, like, he said some stuff and literally was basically like, you're a chicken, but some other vulgar words. And I was just like, dang, God, I got to go now. But then I was like, I'm not trying to be on a movie and then, next thing you know, I'm getting hurt or something else or murdered. So it was those moments where I had to, like, make those decisions like, wow, like, I could end up doing this or I can be an adult and make sure I make my flight on time. Like, whenever there's no one else there and, I was really by myself, like, I could honestly end up dying. So
That's true. Those are, yeah, life-changing decisions. That's pretty cool. So you mentioned, okay. I like that. That's very different because wow, really? You gonna do us like that, Jonathan?
Jonathan.
Please silence all cell phones now. Backtrack.
Skirt, skirt.
Yeah. Backtrack. So your adulting moment was solo traveling and making those decisions that essentially could have changed your life in various ways. Which, I mean, that's a first on my podcast, and that's something that I really want to do in the future. I want to travel, and solo like scares the crap out of me, which I follow a lot of travel bloggers and everything like that, and they say like doing it solo is the best thing for you and that type of thing, but it's also just a scary thought of like, oh, if I do this, this could happen or that could happen. And so that's just something I want to do, but I feel you. And those are, yeah.
Oh, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna keep on talking to you until it happens.
Okay. Sounds great because I'm saving up money to go somewhere. Because I have so many friends who have places abroad, and it's just a matter of
Oh, it's lit then.
Yeah, it's just a matter of me getting the money to buy those flights.
How much do you think a flight costs?
Well, so I have a friend who has a property in New Zealand.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah. It's like over $1,200 round trip. So
What about Europe? How much do you think a good price, the cheapest price you could find?
I don't know. I mean, I know there's very cheap things because those cheap websites that like track flights for you type of thing. And so I've seen those types of things, and I know they could probably get cheap, but I've never actually dove into it.
I'm guessing Johnny has not told you, but when I went to Belgium, the tickets I got it costed $430 round trip to Belgium. So whenever people spend that much just for continental flights in the U.S., I'm just like, y'all are tripping.
That's my round trip flight to Costa Rica that I took my freshman year.
You paid that much to go to Costa Rica? Oh, you played yourself with that too. That should have been at least $200.
I went on a group trip, and the person who was like organizing it for all of us, she like signed us up for this flight as a group deal or something like that, because there were about 20 of us in our group going, and since it was that big of a group and I don't know, there was a lot of logistics behind it all, and we ended up paying like 400 something round trip to fly out from Houston non-stop straight to Costa Rica. And it was like a 2-week time period that we were gone. But yeah, that's crazy that I paid the same price and you went across the ocean.
Iceland has some good prices too.
Yeah, that's insane. So about your travels, what are all the countries you went to?
So I've been to Germany a few times. For all my German friends out there, I'm gonna say the correct name. I've been to Deutschland. Deutschland sounds so much better in Germany. And then I've been to Switzerland a few times, London a few times. Excuse me, the United Kingdom or England, however you want to say it, a few times. And I've been to Spain twice, but only in the airport, so I didn't get to really live it up there.
Oh, so like you had like a layover there?
Yeah. And then I've been to France a few times. I don't know if I said that already. I've been to Greece and Mexico, and there's one other country. Oh, Italy. So
I want to go to all those places. You've been everywhere I want to go, and I'm jealous.
Don't be jealous. Just make it happen.
And eventually it will.
If that means you got to make sure that you focus on your dreams right now, since you're only focused on you, then do it.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Do you have a favorite that you've been to? Or like a favorite overall experience that you've had from any of those places?
I'm going to have to...
Or you can just talk about all of them. A favorite experience in each place.
Okay, so... The first time I ever like fathomed the idea of going to Europe or another country outside of North America was my junior year of high school. And this is like, I don't know how many people who are listening are like believers in God or a higher power, but like really feel like that was really working with me at that time, because I signed up for a European history AP class. I got in that class. I was like, man, what did I do to myself? This class is hard. I guess I do that all the time. And I went to the counselor. I was like, yo, please take me out of this class. And she's like, no, you signed the thing saying you can't get taken out. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I guess I'll figure it out. And then a couple weeks later, these two librarians come in our class and like, hey, we're taking some kids to Germany, and they only talk to our class. So that's why I'm saying like something was working there. And then in my head, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I was ignorant. I was a 16-year-old boy, and I was like, from America, I was like, wow, why would I want to go to another country? Why would I want to go to Germany? If I'm really real with y'all, like I was like, what do they have to offer for me, right? But then something inside of me was like, nah, you need to go. You need to see what's up. So I went.
Yeah.
And Germany's definitely a humbling experience. Probably gonna be my favorite place because I made so many good friends there. And when I went to Germany, drinking age 16 for beer, 18 for hard liquor, and that was just really like nice. They have a different culture and everything. And the school I went to, I was the only black person there. Really, honestly, one of the only black people in that town. So everyone wanted to talk to me and stuff. And Germany just, I don't know. When I tell you, we went on a field trip. The first time I was in Germany, we went on a field trip because I was an exchange student for like 3 weeks there. And I was like, where are we going? He's like, oh, we're going to this lake and everything. We're going to barbecue. They're very big on saying barbecue all the time. And I went.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I went. And I'm like, okay, so how are we getting there? He's like, we're walking. I said, we're what? He said, we're walking. And fam, when I tell you, we walked for a good hour and a half, almost 2 hours. We were walking alongside a highway. I was like, what in the world?
That's crazy.
If this is America, people would have been so mad. I didn't. At that moment, I was like, wow, this is different. So fast forward, skirt.
Wow, dude. Again. If y'all hear those little glimpses as we're recording, my little brother is on the floor trying to be an assistant but failing because he keeps playing videos and his volume is up. So pardon all of that. Continue.
So then the second, so.
See, you made him lose. I can't even talk. You made him lose his place, Jonathan.
Okay, so fast forward after Germany was all fun and everything. I went back home. My dad was mad at me. He's like, wow, I told you not to drink. And I was like, Dad, you never know when that was going to happen again. So I did it. And then I said, I'm going back to Germany the next year. And he was like, you're not doing that. I was like, I'm going to be 18, Dad. He's like, you're not doing that. He's like, where are you going to get that money from? I was like, Dad, I'm going to get a job. When I got a job, worked at a daycare the whole year. Hated working there every day after school, but I kept telling myself,
it's for the trip.
Yes. And then it happened again, and I showed up. It was so amazing. And, like, one of the teachers in the school actually remembered me. He's like, weren't you here last summer?
That's
I was like,
awesome.
I was, sir. Then again, though, was the only black person there, so Okay, so fast forward to London now. I'm a sophomore in college, I believe, and my friend who's from his family's from South Sudan. And for everyone out there in South Sudan, I don't know what's going on in the country right now, but with everything in the Civil War and just how chaotic it is, I like blessings going y'all's way. I know the world's not really paying that much attention. All right, we're done with that side note. So yeah, I'm in London. I stayed there for 10 days with him and stuff. And his grandmother's so cute. And like people from South Sudan, at least his people, they speak Arabic. Nation in Africa speaking Arabic right there. So he speaks it too. And his grandma was so cute, like 4'11". She let us stay in her apartment. She went to go stay with her brother. And London, whenever I land in London Heathrow, I just feel so happy whenever I get off the plane. It's just I don't know how to describe it. Just I love the vibes of London. I guess just since everyone really knows, being black in America is definitely a thing, but being black in London, if you're looking at it literal, okay, I guess that's a thing too, but it's definitely not the same. Like the black people, yes, the black people in London, at least the ones I met, who were all Africans, they just don't act like us. Like when I tell you we were in a store and we walked out and the stuff started going off and I was like, all right, cool, they went empty off your pockets. I was like, yo, what's up? And they were just like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm trying to make sure I don't go to prison here. What? And they're like, no, stop. It's not like that here.
Dang, yeah, that's very different. I see what you mean.
It was just really, I don't even think that I went to a lot of great places that I've always wanted to see as a child. And like, I don't know, just maybe I'm meant to be in London someday, but I don't know. I can't describe it. It's just somewhere I felt really happy. So
nice.
And fast forward, then I think I went to France next with my parents that next like couple months later. And that was really nice because my mother has French on her side, but I don't speak French. So
I was about to ask you, do you speak any other languages?
Jonathan, this is your time to come in.
Huh? He's not even paying attention.
Okay.
I started looking at ciphers.
Well, Johnny speaks French a little bit, but I guess he's not gonna say
because we
anything.
took French in high school. I speak it too.
That was your cue to help him out.
Je, je m'appelle Hélène.
Je m'appelle Davion.
Oh, there you go.
But so France, it was nice. Stayed at a resort.
Okay,
Johnny,
your cue is
You're
over.
pushing it. So we stayed in kind of like in a townhome in the countryside of France. At first, my dad didn't really like it because we had to get on the train every time to go into Paris. But I kind of liked that atmosphere, and we had escargot. And for all you guys who are thinking, "Wow, you really ate snails, fam?" Yes, I did.
How were they?
Buttery,
I've heard people say
garlicky,
they taste like chicken.
herbs, nice. No, I'm not gonna put chicken. Nah, they're tripping, bro.
Okay.
It's good though. Like every meal I had, I was like, "Yo, bring those snails out." And at the end, I was like, "What's that word again?" Bon appetit. There we go. So France, nice. Saw the Eiffel Tower and everything. Really, really great city. And since I'm out here since I already talked about South Sudan a little bit, I'm also gonna say like for all the people in Paris and France, blessings go out your way and prayers for y'all's cathedral and everything. And I know that you guys are strong and that you guys will rebuild it and just save have the memories still. And you guys did a lot of the paintings and stuff.
Yeah, they'll be able to like restore as much of it as they can, because that's a historical monument right there.
Tragic.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So France, fast forward. Now we're gonna go to Greece. I think it was the next time. And we went to Athens, and we stayed there for like 7 days. And I suggest when you go to Greece, don't stay in Athens.
Is it like overpriced or just too overdone?
I don't even want to say none of that. I think it's a beautiful city, just like how every city's beautiful in this world. But correct me if I'm wrong, anyone out there listening, but I believe over 55% of the population of the nation of Greece lives in Athens, that one city. And it's very old. And I feel like I feel like for what the Greek people were back in the day, at the height of their empire, that if they were here, they would just look at their city and be like, wow, like this is what it looks like now. And I get, money and all that marble is expensive, but.
So very touristy and just.
I don't like the city.
Okay.
I love the people. I love the culture. I don't like the taking care of the buildings. You can have an old building. You can have a trash house, a small house, and the house can look so good. But if you let a house go downhill or building, it just looks bad. And I feel like that city, it could do so much better. So I recommend going to some more smaller cities in the countryside and visiting a lot of the islands, since they have so many islands. And that's just a failure on my part, but. But
that's more the reason to go again. Yes. So you could go to those places.
Yes.
There you go.
And then the next nation I went to was Belgium. And, I already talked about Belgium a little bit. I was a little timid since I was by myself. But I went to a few little small cities. I recommend when you go to a country like Belgium, or any country, matter of fact, if you plan on hopping around in different cities, find a hub city. So I stayed in Brussels. Because, I hear about Brussels all the time, about the European Union, since it's a seat of the European Union and everything. Brussels, great city, but you don't need to spend more than 4 days there, honestly, if you're in Belgium. Like, I think that you should make it your hub city like I did. Get an Airbnb, and at the end of every morning, walk to the train station, which is what I did. I literally knew the route. And, get on the train, go to a city like Ghent, Belgium, go to Antwerp, I hope I said that right. Go to Leuven, Belgium. You can see all their churches and everything. Go to Waterloo. I did not know that Waterloo was in Belgium. Should have paid a lot more attention to history and everything.
Waterloo's in Belgium?
Exactly. And it was like 34 miles from Brussels. I could have saw the battle. Then again, I went in January. It was cold. But yeah, so I would hop on the train every morning and then go to one of these cities and just walk around and be a different experience every day. And since Belgium's so small, you can literally like hop in and out and everything. And I think it is Ghent, Belgium. I also didn't know that. I'm a big history buff. Okay. I also didn't know that.
So you're teaching me things.
I believe in Ghent, Belgium. It was. That's where the U.S. and England signed the treaty to the War of 1812 in Ghent, Belgium. I did not know that. Ghent, Belgium is a very beautiful city. It's nice. And their waffles. Waffles, amazing.
Waffles are my favorite. Sorry, I bumped the microphone because I was very excited. Waffles are my favorite breakfast item.
Oh, you need to see my Belgian video then.
Ugh.
It was
I
the
know.
waffles to die for.
I've waited to watch all your videos just so I could just have a time to just sit and just binge watch all of them.
I have a Belgian playlist and I have an Italy
I
playlist,
know.
or Italia.
I creeped on you for a while.
Okay, that's a bet. So the next, so fast forward out of Belgium and everything, like that was really great because then it opened me up. Made some videos with my homie Johnny about like traveling alone and everything. That was not the best video, but I believe in this world, you know. Facts. I believe that in this world, the day that you stop shooting is the day that you're not going to get good content because not everything you do in this world is going to be perfect. So putting out videos makes you better and everything and gets you into that habit and that workflow. And people can really see like, hey, like not everything's always going to be the best. And you know, that wasn't my thinking in the beginning, but then I listened to some more YouTubers. I don't know who you watch, but I watch Peter McKinnon a lot. I watch Casey Neistat, Matty Apoyo. I watch Becky and Chris. Like, there's a lot of YouTubers that I've just been watching a lot lately. So that's what I would say about that. And then, okay, now to Italy, Italia. And I got back, like, I think, like 2 months ago. One moment.
Did someone knock on my door or was
Someone
that
did knock.
downstairs?
Hello? Okay.
Anybody there? Okay, no.
Okay, so Italy. This was the first time I was going to really have people who I could vlog with and have other characters. So I brought them into the mix, you know. Started the video off with being in San Marcos, and traveling back to Dallas where I'm from. Put my parents in there and introduced them. I think it was really great because people love the characters. Like my dad, a very funny person. My mom's so serious, and excuse me. And when we got there, it was just really nice. Rome, great city. Colosseum, falling apart. I don't know when it's gonna see its last day. An earthquake, just like that. Really, really great city. I think that was some of my best work with vlogging because I vlogged every single day I was there. And it was hard because I would vlog in the morning, afternoon, and then get back at the hotel room when the day was done. And literally, I would just like start editing, take the memory card out the camera, and start editing music, boom, boom, boom. And I'd fall asleep at like 4 a.m. at night and then have it saved. And it gave me some great content because I had like 11 videos. That's like 11 weeks worth of work to just upload on YouTube every week. And it was really great. So then we went from Rome to flew into Rome and went from Rome, spent 3 days there, and then our next destination was, I believe, Florence. Florence was our next destination because, you know, we wanted to go see the statue of David by Michelangelo. Not Michelangelo, but Michelangelo. And then we wanted to go see, we wanted to go to Pisa. So we went to the city of Pisa because we wanted to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And that was nice. It was, I don't like heights. Jumped out of a plane 5 times, but I had a parachute on. And like when you're going up the Leaning Tower of Pisa, you can literally feel the lean because it's literally leaning, and you're going up the stairs and it's leaning. It's all marble.
I didn't know you could go in it. I thought it was just there.
Oh yeah, you definitely have to watch the videos.
That's crazy.
And pizza. Sorry, from my German friends, they say pizza a lot. So pizza, it was really really great. Like I loved having it all the time. Loved their pasta. Loved their seafood. Had seafood pizza one time. Their bread so amazing to die for. I'm sad I'm not there no more. Gelato, I love gelato. Jonathan can tell you this. I don't like ice cream no more. Gelato is the move. It is amazing. Yes. There it is. Mango gelato.
Mango?
Yes.
Oh, my mom likes the lemon or limoncello. Limoncello, however you say it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I would definitely try it, but I cannot disrespect my mango like that.
Oh, no.
My dad gets mad at me every time.
I'm not letting you know. I'm just saying that's the one that my mom likes, and I've tried it, and I'm like, it's just really refreshing.
Ooh.
That flavor. Yeah.
So after that, we went to see Statue of David and everything, and also we saw the Vatican while we were in Rome and stuff, yada yada. Oh, whenever we were looking at the Sistine Chapel, spelled with an S, and when we went in that room and stuff, not gonna lie, if you're going to the Vatican Museum in Rome, you need to make sure that you buy your tickets online so you're not waiting in that long line. So yeah, my mom bought our tickets online because that's just how she is. She's
She's ahead of all the programs.
Yes, but even if she didn't, since my brother has special needs and he's in a wheelchair, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like I never waited in lines at Disney World when I was a kid. Never waited in lines at all.
That's how we were with my mom.
Literally. So well, okay. So we got there and everything, and I went into the Sistine Chapel, And I've always wanted to see this, and that's when European History AP comes back again, because that's when we talked about that, and I was like, wow, I'm actually seeing it now. And I was ready. I got my gimbal out and everything, had my smartphone right there. And when you're a YouTuber or a photographer, sometimes you don't have time to be perfect. And this is another thing in Casey Neistat and Peter McKinnon. So don't always try to get the perfect shot, because if you try that, you might miss the perfect shot. You might miss getting that shot. When I went in there, I was like, boom, hooked up my gimbal and everything, had it ready, and then I literally was looking up the ceiling, because, you know, Sistine Chapel has everything all on the ceiling on the sides, and I literally started going down slowly to get some perfect B-roll, and then right after I finished, all I hear is, sir, no filming, no filming, no filming. And I was like, it's okay, I got my shot. I'm done.
I already got it. Boom.
Literally. And they shush you in there. I get it's a holy place, but literally they're like, shh.
Wow.
I
They're
hope I didn't
serious
hurt no
about
ears.
keeping it
Yes.
so pristine. That's so cool, though.
So.
And that's crazy to be immersed in something so big and so talked about.
It really is, like, I think it's really hard for anyone to hold a candle to that, especially since he did that back there in that day. Like, you need to go see that someday. It's really, like, pictures cannot do it justice at all.
Dang. I bet. Yeah, I took a course when I was in college. It was like partial art history, and our professor was always just like, I mean, here's a picture of it, but this won't do it justice. This is just for you to know what you need to know for the exam that's coming up. And I was like, I understand. The pictures never do anything justice. It's just how you can't just absorb all of its beauty on just like a screen or a piece of paper. You have to be there.
And plus, if you go, no, I'm sorry, when you go.
Yeah, when I go.
Make sure that you try to, like, I don't know, read up on some more stories in the Bible so that you can, like, understand what some of these paintings mean.
What's
up
happening?
there. Yeah, so you're like, all right, this is that, this is that, this is that. It makes it the connection a lot better, a lot stronger. My dad's a minister, so I can be lazy and he can just tell me what's going on. So, yes.
You get lucky on that one. Taking a break from travel and all the awesomeness and everything, and I aspire to do all of that you just said. So you just graduated. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you just commissioned. Congratulations again. How do you feel about those two milestones that are like happening right now at this moment?
I feel like it really shows you that, or shows me at least, that life is moving fast. And if you stay on your path and you have a goal, that you can accomplish it. And when you accomplish it, you're like, wow, like, if I can do this, then I can do other things. Because I told people what I was going to do, and I did them. And I actually did have one friend text me and was like, hey, man, like, I just want to let you know, congratulations. You did exactly what you said you were going to do whenever you left high school after senior year.
That's
you're getting
awesome.
it. So that really made me feel really,
You
really happy.
accomplished,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. And what's next for you?
Your boy's heading to South Korea.
That's your first station?
It is.
How do you feel about that?
I love to travel. Haven't been to
So
Asia
there you
yet.
go. Yeah.
And Asia's really expensive, but I'll be going there for free. I guess not for free because I'm going to be working, but it's a good trade-off.
Yeah. You get to see somewhere new that you've never been, even though you have to work there. But then you'll get to see a different side of it that other people don't get to see because you'll be working there. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Yeah.
Flights from Seoul, Korea, or like to Japan are like $140 round trip. So let's just say lead time is going to be a very happy time.
Dang. Crazy. That's crazy. Do you have any questions for me or in general about growing up, adulting? I keep bumping the microphone or anything like that.
So what is your plan with this podcast and your YouTube channel?
To just let it happen. So I last year went to a conference called Hispanicize in Miami with my mom to learn more about the digital space and the Hispanic community in the digital space for her nonprofit organization. Because I really like technology and all that type of stuff. and I help her with her nonprofit's like social media accounts and whatever else help she needs. And so I went with her to this conference, and even on the way there, I told her, and I was like, "Hey, you should consider doing like a podcast for your nonprofit, and you could interview like a lot of the spouses that are in there or anything like that," because I at that point had started to listen to podcasts, and I was like, I kind of like this, like not a lot of people know about this thing because it's still up and coming type of thing. I know they've been around for a while, but they were just at that in my life, they were just now appearing everywhere. And so we went, and one of the sessions in the conference was about podcasting, and they had podcasters in the panel, and they talked about it. And one of the ladies that was on the panel, my mom has known for years because she used to work for People en Español magazine, and she would do events for the nonprofit when she was here in San Antonio. And now she has a podcast. So we talked to them for a while, and they gave all the tips of how you could do podcast and how it's just fun and everything like that. And I was like, that's really cool. I want to do it. And so we went about the conference. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot about social media, and I learned how big the Hispanic community is on social media because I didn't really follow a lot of Hispanic people. And so that kind of opened my eyes. And then after that trip was where I was like, okay, I want to do a podcast, but I can't do it just yet because I didn't have enough money to start with equipment. I didn't have like the best laptop at the time to be able. Boy, you keep ruining everything in this episode.
I'm not gonna lie, Johnny. I'm a creator too in little small things. It was twice, Johnny.
And so you made me forget my point. I decided when we came back, I want to do something, and I don't know what. I know I want to do a podcast, but I don't have the money for it. So my friend Jasenia, who's been on the podcast a couple times already, she is a social media and marketing major at UTSA, and so she is all up in social media. When I re-met her back in when my dad was getting deployed in El Paso, she was Miss El Paso 2016. So she was also taking off on social media because she was Miss El Paso.
All that clout.
Yeah, exactly. And so me and her came up with this deal that we were going to hold ourselves accountable because she wanted to start a blog up and I wanted to do something social media wise. And so we went out one day, we had a photo shoot at the Pearl and somewhere else downtown. She had like a nice DSLR camera. We went out, took some shots, had multiple outfit changes. We were each other's photographers.
Like that.
Yeah, we were each other's photographers. Like we made it happen, and we were like, all right, now we have a bunch of photos that we can start doing all of this from. And so what I started initially was a blog on Facebook called Curly Headed Cutie Chronicles. And so I started just making posts and posting the pictures, and every once in a while, I like to say last year was my year of travel because I went so many places, and I hadn't gone anywhere since I essentially left for Costa Rica back my freshman year of college. And so I started a blog up, did blog posts, and I was saving up money to start buying equipment to do a podcast. And it wasn't until February of this year that I finally had like a good start of equipment. Like I had a microphone, I had this little kit that's happening right here of cables, and I was ready to go. Yeah. And so I went about it and I started the podcast from there. I had a lot of different names for it. And then from the names, I went to Life and Curly Cues because I wanted to talk about life, adulting. I figured out my whole little brand. And yeah, I made Instagram accounts and all that stuff, like a business one. And I just went about that. And then I started this, and I really like to talk. And so I felt like it was perfect for me because I just need an outlet to vent out. So I don't really have much of a plan for it. I mean, eventually I hope it does like get big or anything like that, but I'm okay with the way it's going right now, just taking its time casually, and I'm just putting out content that makes me happy and that I'm okay with, even if like nobody watches it, I'm still putting it out there and I'm okay with how it's coming out and everything like that. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where I see it happening. Right now I'm not doing blogs anymore because I'm doing the podcast, and then I do it every other week so that I can actually take a breather and record things, and so I can actually like go to work and enjoy work in the middle of the week. So this is like my weekend job. But for free because I don't get paid doing any of this because I'm not at that level.
I feel like what you're doing, you need to make sure you don't. Oh, I definitely can't do this one thing to myself. I feel like you need to keep on doing you, because there's a lot of creators out there who, especially when they start out on YouTube or a podcast, that they think they're going to get this instant success and everything. They're looking for the wrong things when they start, and then they get burnt out really quickly.
Yeah.
And then that's just it. And, you know, doing something just for you, that's when people really start to see like who you are and everything. And there's like over 7 billion people on this planet. Like,
exactly.
What's the chances that, you know, not like 200 people are not going to like
Yeah.
you, and more and plus and plus.
Yeah. And that's why I'm just like so happy with letting it naturally do whatever it's going to do, because I'm like, I'm happy. I'm doing what I want. I don't want all this attention. I don't need all this attention. I just want to put out something that I'm like, this is what I need to do to vent sometimes, so this is what I do.
I feel you. I feel you.
You just got to make it happen that way, and that's just the way it is. But that was a good question. That was good. What do you see yourself doing with your vlogs and your videos and all that stuff? Homeboy, that's Caesar. I hear him at the door.
I really want to inspire a lot more people who are becoming second lieutenants and people who are just joining the Army so that they can see. So I started a series where I interview people who I interview people based on their MOS, military occupational specialty.
Yeah, you got to break those down.
Yeah.
Jonathan came on and he was speaking in a lot of abbreviations, and I only know what the military brat lifestyle teaches you. And when it comes down to the specifics that Jonathan was mentioning, I was like, you need to dumb it down for me.
Oh yeah, definitely caught a cramp in my leg. Okay, but yeah, so MOSs, and I interview people on my YouTube channel, and they basically walk through basic training and AIT, Advanced Individual Training, where you learn how to do your job, and then they walk people through like what it's like to be in the Guard or the Reserve or active duty, whatever their component is in the military, so that then people can see. Because I saw there's not really that many videos solely based on those things, and if it is, they're boring. They don't really like go into the details, and they're not really that real.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing. Is like, I get a lot of great feedback on that. Those are like my highest videos in terms of view count and watch time. And then the next one is I started just talking about ROTC, Reserve Officer Training Corps, and what it's about and how to be successful with it. And then just military videos like Airborne School, what you need. And now I guess I'm going to move towards being active duty and being at Bullock Basic Officer Leadership course, and just so people can see like, hey, this is how it goes. I'm not going to give a day-to-day account every time because I'm going to be working, I'm going to be busy, but just checking in, still putting out weekly content so that people can be inspired and see what it's like, because there's just so much that's not there. And I feel like that's something that we can do, and it's such a great recruiting tool also, so that people can see, and that just produces better soldiers, sailors, airmen, sailors. If I said that, I said that twice. What's the name for people in the Coast Guard? Marines. For the Marines.
Coast Guards. I don't know.
People in the Coast Guard too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
we apologize,
you guys. Yes.
For not knowing your term.
But yeah, I want to do that, and then just show how to be a great officer. And in no way am I saying I'm a great officer yet, because I haven't even been through basic officer leadership course. But just the trials and tribulations, and just how to be professional with having a YouTube channel and still be in that leadership role. Because I know that I could go down a bad rabbit hole and I could talk mad trash about my leadership, how I'm feeling, how I'm being treated. But in the world, you know, there's good versus evil, and like, you got to be professional still. And, you know, just work on yourself, because not everyone's perfect and no one's perfect, actually.
That's so true.
So that's my plan for YouTube. Hopefully, when I get out the military, I don't know when that's going to be, YouTube channel will take off even further, and that can be a lifestyle and a career. If not, then I'm
Then
not gonna
life
talk.
is life.
Yeah, since we're being recorded, I'm not gonna talk about the other stuff. So that's
Yeah.
just for me to know.
There you go. That's all you need to know. All right. So now we're getting to the tail end of the podcast where we do the donut mug of questions. My mug that's in a donut, or my donut that's on a mug. And so you will go first. You'll go ahead and pick one question and read it, give your answer.
Well, I'm
To the
definitely not
best.
gonna pick up the ones I
Yeah.
wrote today.
There you go. And then, yeah, we'll answer it, and then I'll pick mine.
If you can change one thing in the past, what would it be? Question mark. Oh,
That's for you to answer. Don't put it back in. Don't make the same mistake Jonathan made.
Sorry, I didn't know where to put the thing.
I'm sorry. That was something I didn't debrief you on before starting. Okay, you got to answer it.
Okay. I think next time maybe we should have a cup so I don't put it back in there.
You know, no one's ever mentioned that, so thanks for mentioning that.
I didn't want to litter on your bed.
It's my bed.
Okay, so let me read that again for you guys. If you can change one thing in the past, what would it be? Question mark. I guess if there's one thing I could change in the past, it'd probably have to be nothing, because I really can't think of anything that I would want to change, because at this moment in time, I'm happy, and I'll always be happy, and I'll always bounce back, and I'll always be resilient. Thank you, military, for that word. So I really can't think of anything I would change in the past, because everything has led me up to this moment, and that's how it was meant to be.
Yeah, I agree. One of my life mottos is like everything happens for a reason. So whatever happened in the past.
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah, I am one of those. So that's my answer would be, I wouldn't change anything, but I would really want to go back and just tell little naive Eileen to be like, girl, get yourself out of there. Don't do that type of thing. And just change how I reacted to other situations. But other than that, those situations made me what I am today and made me shell up with what I am
Big
today.
facts.
So, yeah. All right, my turn. I feel like this one's one of yours. Probably.
Da-na-na. Da-na-na.
Do you think they should bring back the Boondocks?
Y'all get ready for this hot topic, this
for
deep conversation.
cultural/society awareness. Okay, you're gonna have to dumb this down for me. What are Boondocks?
Oh goodness. Okay, so the Boondocks is this show that used to come on BET, correct? Or did it come on? Yeah, but they
It was a show?
Yes. Okay, so someone's gonna know who's a big fan exactly like what. Okay,
Someone
Google help
will
us
know.
out. But the Boondocks follows the story of this one guy, his grandpa, and he has two sons.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan, what are the names again? It's been a minute.
They're Riley and
Okay, so they have their grandpa. They call him Granddad.
Uh-huh.
And this is like, they hit on all these stereotypes about being black and everything and how people see us. And Huey, yes. And Huey's like really smart. No, is it Riley? No, yes. He's a really smart older brother. And then Riley is a little one who he's always trying to like help out. And they really go off. And there's one main character that gets everybody. Oh, my bad. Cartoon Network,
Okay.
Adult Swim. And this one guy, and his name is Uncle Ruckus.
Okay.
Uncle Ruckus kind of like is a character of he's literally Uncle Tom, living and breathing, but he's black. And anytime so he says he's not black, and he says he suffers from reverse vitiligo, like Michael Jackson.
Okay.
So if I'm going to act like Uncle Ruckus right now, hope nobody ever takes this video clip out of content, but this is how Uncle Ruckus would be. You know, I'm not black. I don't know why everyone keeps saying that. I suffer from reverse vitiligo. You know, the thing that Michael Jackson has, but backwards. You know, what a sweet, beautiful white man. What a beautiful white man. Oh, man, I just that white skin. That is some stuff Uncle Ruckus would say, and he's always being mean to Riley and them and everything, and saying that y'all are black, y'all will never amount to anything. But he's black. That's the plot to it.
Huh.
Yeah, and then like, so what I'm saying with the culture awareness and the society aspect and everything, anything that's going on in the world, they throw that into there. But sadly, the Boondocks is not being played no more. And one episode that they played was, you know how DNA testing was such a big thing, or still is.
Mhm.
He did the DNA test, and it came back that he was 102% African with 2% error, margin of error. And he went down to his knees and was like, "Oh Jesus, what am I gonna do now?" Quit his jobs, all of his jobs, and went up to Riley and all of them and was like, "I'm black. I don't know what I'm gonna do." He uses other words, but we're not gonna
Mhm.
use those. And he's walking around. He's like, "What am I gonna do? I ain't got nothing to do." And he's like, "You know, one of the only black shows that Uncle Ruckus loves, the only black show is Good Times. It's Good Times because he says this is his character again.
Mhm.
He's like, man, Good Times is such a good black show. It showed what black people were supposed to be doing, living in poverty, happy, doing what black people do,
Oh
the
my
good old stuff. You
goodness.
know, black people just love poverty." That's the kind of thing Uncle Ruckus does. It's so funny to see, and it really hits on all these
Ah.
notes, and it's really great because it allows black people to see and laugh. And I feel like that for
Mm.
people who might not have black people in their town or city or
Yeah.
ever met one, that shows them like it gives them stereotypes, but it also shows them like, hey man, like if they think deeper into it, like, hey,
Mhm.
this is what happens to them, this is what they go through, and it's also like helps black people connect because they're just like, wow, like really be going through this
Like
sometimes,
yeah.
yeah. Just so to see this on screen and everything.
And to see it kind of like humorized in a
Mhm.
way.
Everything is humorous there. Everything's
Mhm.
comical.
Yeah. So that, but in a way, then I guess whoever created the show and that type of thing, they're taking that comical stance to kind of be able to put it out there and for people to be able to like watch it and kind of like
Mhm.
be like, oh, we should really think about what's happening, type of thing. So I think it'd be interesting if it was on like now, just to see how people would take to it
Oh.
because of the crazy shit that's happening.
Yeah, there's an episode about Donald Trump and President Obama. And I'm sure you can already guess whose side he takes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's just, yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. One more question for you.
Dang, why I gotta pull up my own? I was not
You want to
thinking.
put it in and get a different one?
I did the same thing.
Yeah. You can put it in to pick a different one.
What chore do you absolutely hate?
Or if you don't have any now, which one did you really hate back in the day?
I hated cutting the grass. I'm not gonna lie with y'all. I hated cutting the grass so much. Oh man, not even just 'cause just sucks. You just cutting grass, and my
You're
dad's
just going lines, turn lines.
yes. My dad had a pool, so I was over here like up on the hill cutting this. Like it's just, oh, it's just. If I had like a flat backyard, I'd be like, zoom, 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 zoom. That's it. But no, this man had way too much grass, and it was no riding lawnmower.
Oh,
Jesus, it sucked. But
dang.
just didn't like cutting the grass, and my kids are gonna cut the grass too.
They will
Literally.
feel the wrath that you felt when you
Oh.
were put in that position.
Facts, facts.
Mine is dishes, and still to this day it's dishes. Because,
yeah.
like I said before, I still live at home and still got to help keep this house put together.
Plus, when you eat, you know you're gonna have to clean dishes.
Exactly. I'm like, ugh. So, that's my thing. Okay, last question. What's the chisme? Do you know what chisme is?
No.
Okay, so chisme is Spanish for gossip. So this question is just what's the chisme, and I don't have any chisme today, so sorry to say. You got some chisme today?
Of some gossip.
You got some gossip? I like to call it chisme because it's more fun to say. People in this world are just a mess.
Yeah, everyone just is really going through something,
Mhm.
and I feel like once we all can realize that people's emotions are real, even if they created them themselves, those are emotions that they are feeling,
Yeah.
and that we should try to understand them. And if we can't understand them, then maybe we need to go back to the whiteboard, chalkboard, depending on how old you are, and right, and just see like what really affects you, because you know when you're sad, you know
Uh-huh.
when you don't feel happy,
Yeah.
even if that's not what's going on, that's what's going on with you. So I feel
Mhm.
like with gossip, 'cause I don't have any right now, with just women and people, just
Yeah.
everyone going through something, that we all really need to realize that everyone has emotions, and those are real emotions to them, even if
Mhm.
they're not justifiable
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Just be nice to people, no matter how you feel. Don't be rude, type of thing. That brings us to the end of the podcast. Thank you, Davion, for joining me.
No problem. Anytime.
My final thing, would you like to shout out anything or say any final remarks?
I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but I'll keep that to myself. If Roz was here, Roz would know what I would say, but I'm not going to say that. I guess just stop, Jonathan. I guess if you're on YouTube, check me out, Davion West, Davion space and then West.
Thank you for joining. And y'all can listen to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Y'all can watch on Facebook and on YouTube. And until the next one, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Ciao.